I'm not really anti-American, just anti-American government. As a matter of fact, my father was an American. He came up to Canada looking for work, and he got a job with the Canadian Pacific Railway, the CPR. Worked his way up to be an engine driver, but over in Canada, we don't call them engine drivers because that doesn't sound important enough. So we call them locomotive engineers. I'm going to sing a song about him. His name was Homer Johnson. The song starts out with a chorus, and I hope you'll pick it up quickly and join in. Homer Johnson, he was an engineer, a high baller when the track was clear, and when his whistle blew, you could hear folks say, "There goes Homer, good old Homer, yes, it's Homer, he's on his way." From Boston he had traveled far to seek employment with the CPR. Left mother and country behind, hoped that here adventure he'd find. He'd travel around Saskatchewan in howling blizzards and the blazing sun, roaring out across the prairie, watching for a whistle sign, stopping at every village and town on the CP line. Homer Johnson, he was an engineer, a high baller when the track was clear, and when his whistle blew, you could hear folks say, "There goes Homer, good old Homer, yes, it's Homer, he's on his way." Well, first he loaded her up with coal to furnish steam to make the big wheels roll. The fireman tended the fire, coaxed the flames up higher and higher. At last she started to snort and blow. She'd give a lurch and then away she'd go, huffing, puffing, clouds of steam, moaning, groaning, straining hard, picking up speed and thundering out of the station yard. Homer Johnson, he was an engineer, a high baller when the track was clear, and when his whistle blew, you could hear folks say, "There goes Homer, good old Homer, yes, it's Homer, he's on his way." The spare board he was on for years, the crazy hours drove his wife to tears, but then she might end up all smiles, just because he got in his miles. At 3 a.m. the call boy Joe would bang the door and say, "You have to go." Then he'd eat a hurried meal, digest it while the coffee perked, pick up his lunch and jump on his bike and go off to work. Homer Johnson, he was an engineer, a high baller when the track was clear, and when his whistle blew, you could hear folks say, "There goes Homer, good old Homer, yes, it's Homer, he's on his way." One day the hoggers were surprised, a diesel engine made them blink their eyes, smelled worse than a Bowery drunk, so they quickly named it the skunk. And none of them would ever dream the skunk was heralding the end of steam. Homer and his locomotive, both of them are laid away, but in the hearts of those who went to them they live today. Homer Johnson, he was an engineer, a high baller when the track was clear, and when his whistle blew, you could hear folks